All right, so what makes this such a big deal is prescription hearing aids are locked the down. And you can't connect them to anything unless you buy the proprietary $200 to $300 accessory. And the other shitty thing is that these expensive proprietary accessories like the TV streamer, the multi-mic, and all these other very expensive accessories is when you buy one of these accessories to connect your hearing aids to your computer or your TV, they only work for that specific brand of hearing aid. If you get an upgrade and you get a different brand, you got to buy another $200 or $300 accessory, and it's this device and these devices coming up in the future, and this Auracast technology is breaking the rules and offering a cheaper alternative. It unlocks the potential that the hearing aids have had, but have been locked down by the industry for so long. All right, this is a big deal, and this is just the beginning. This is the first step to unlocking the potential you have in your hearing aids and allowing everybody access to do what they need to do to connect their hearing aids to their computer. And I'm working on finding ways to do it with the TV as well. I started this channel with one goal in mind: to help my Costco members with their hearing aids, because at Costco a lot of times we don't have time to go over absolutely everything. Now, this isn't Costco's fault. This is just the world we live in now, where we have to cram as many people in as we can. That's why I created this channel, to answer those questions, to give you guys a resource. The way I did that is I started making videos. You want to learn about the app? You want to know what you can do with the app? Go to Hearing Club and watch the videos, because I don't have time to talk about it all during this appointment. I made a video just for you guys, and then it turned into this whole big project, my baby, the Hearing Club. And that's what brings me to this next topic: unlocking the potential that you have with your hearing aids that have been gate-kept by these industries and locked behind these doors of proprietary and money. Okay, that was a little bit dramatic, but seriously guys, this really is huge. I mean, think about it. If you've ever tried to connect your prescription hearing aids to your computer, not OTC, prescription, the expensive ones, you know the deal. You can't. Not unless you shell out like $250 to $300 for some brand locked proprietary accessory that only works with that one brand. And like I said, guess what happens when you switch brands? Yep, you're buying it all over again. I deal with it every day. It's frustrating, it's wasteful, and honestly, it's kind of bullshit. And that's why I made this video. Because for the first time, there's a simple, affordable way to connect any prescription hearing aid, yes, even the lockdown ones, to your computer using a device that costs under $50. No more proprietary hoops, no more brand ecosystem traps, just you, your hearing aids, and the freedom to stream directly from your PC. Now, this is the first step in a much bigger shift. It's the beginning of breaking down the walls that the hearing aid industry has built for years. Walls designed to keep you spending, upgrading, and stuck in one ecosystem. We're going to use the FlooGoo. Yes, I know it's a silly name. It's about $40. All right, I just made a video about it, but this time I'm going to show you how to connect any prescription hearing aid with Auracast to your PC so you can finally stream. Now, you can do this with a multi-mic or a partner mic or a portable mic, and those things are over $200. This $40, and it works with all brands as long as you have Auracast capabilities in your hearing aids. All right, so let's go check it out. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to show you guys which versions and which hearing aids are compatible with this device to do exactly what I'm going to show you guys here in a second. Basically, you're going to have to make sure not only does your hearing aid have Auracast, but it has to have the latest firmware version. And I'm going to show you guys on the screen which versions will work. So you're going to have this version of firmware or later. And these are the compatible devices: the GN Resound Nexia 9, the Jabra Enhance Pro 20 from Costco, the Oticon Intent, the Philips HearLink 9050, the Rexon Reach, the Signia 5 and 7 IX, the Starkey Edge AI, the TruHearing 7 Advanced, and TruHearing TH7 Premium. These are all the models, and these are all the firmware versions that you have to have, either this version or a later version. And today I'm going to be showing you guys with the Rexton Reach, the Philips 9050, and the Jabra Enhance Pro 20. I'm also going to show you guys how to get your firmware updated if you don't already have it. You can either download the fitting software if you are into DIY self-programming and update the device yourself, or you can take it to your fitter and say, hey, just want to make sure I have the latest firmware update so I can use Auracast. All right, so for the Rexton Reach, if you want to check to see if there's any updates available, or you want to check which version of the firmware you're actually using on the hearing aid, you just go to the very top of the fitting software where it says Service. It's going to bring you a drop-down menu, and you're going to select Update Firmware of the hearing aid. At the very top, it's going to show you the right and left hearing aid, the serial numbers, and it's going to show you the firmware version. And as you can see, this one has been updated to the latest firmware at 25.5.972.3. And additionally, if you want to see the firmware version history, you can check and see what's been updated, little fixes here and there, and et cetera, et cetera. And then of course, if there's an update available, you do the update. It takes a few minutes and then you're all set. Your hearing aids are updated, and once you have this version, you are ready to use Auracast. Now with the Rexton hearing aids, unfortunately, you cannot update the firmware on your phone using the app, but you can check the firmware version that you're running through the app. So with the app, you just go to the little hamburger menu, the 3 lines on the top left, click it, go to Settings, and then you're going to go to Versions. It's going to show you the app version, but that is not the firmware version of the hearing aids. The firmware version is where it says left, right. For these, it's 20.15.669.2. So that's where you can check it, but you do have to update the firmware using the fitting software. So either yourself or at your fitter. All right, now to check for your Jabra hearing aids and also your Resound hearing aids, once you have them connected, you go to Instrument Setup, and you can click on Details, and it's going to show you the firmware version right there, 9.68.1.0, so we are good to go. If it's not updated to the latest firmware, you can just go to Menu and then Firmware Update, but as you can see, it's grayed out because we are up to date. And you can also update it right from the app. You don't have to take it into your fitter to get this updated. The actual firmware updates are available using the Jabra Enhance Pro app and the Resound Smart 3D app. Now, if you're using the app to update the hearing aids and update the actual firmware, you've got to consent to the data processing. So you'll see this little thing pop up. Go ahead and hit Start. Go ahead and hit Start. Scroll all the way down. Hit Next. Scroll all the way down again. Agree. Scroll all the way down. Agree. And then once it's done with that, it'll say, thank you. You can now use online services, which includes the over-the-air update. And to do that, you click on My Enhance Pro. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of things to click on. Anyway, hit My Enhance Pro, and there it is, Hearing Aid Software Updates. You click on that, and it shows your hearing aid software is up to date. But if not, you can do the update right here. It's really cool. Just one really important thing is whether you are using the fitting software to update the hearing aids or you're using your phone, make sure you take them out of your ears. This goes for all hearing aids. Anytime you're doing an update, take them out. You never know what kind of weird sounds might get through, and you don't want to damage your hearing. Now for the Philips 9050s, once you have the hearing aids connected, you can just hover over the name of the hearing aid and it'll show you the battery size and the firmware version. So it's 1.2.1. Now, if it's not updated to the latest version, you just go to Tools and Instrument Updater. As you can see, it's grayed out, so that means it is fully updated. You've got the latest version of the firmware. But if you don't, click on Instrument Updater. Again, takes a couple minutes, and make sure you remove the hearing aids from your ears. That's very important. Now, the nice thing about the Philips hearing aids is they have updated the app, and you can now update the hearing aids directly through the app. So to see which version you have, you just go to the hearing aid section in the middle, click on Hearing Aid Updates, and it tells you which version you have, and it will tell you whether or not you have any updates available, and you can update it right there using the HearLink 2 app. All right, so we have one half of the puzzle solved. We have the latest firmware for our Auracast compatible hearing aids. Now we need to make sure we have the latest firmware for the actual FlooGoo Auracast transmitter. That is the little USB dongle. Now, before we do anything else, first we need to download the software for the USB dongle. It is called FlooCast, and this is the software that you're going to use to configure the USB dongle, the Auracast transmitter. Okay, it's made by a company called FlairMesh. So we're going to go to FlairMesh.com. That's FLAIRMESH.com. Highlight dongles and select the FMA120. That is the device model. And scroll down all the way to where you see download from the Microsoft Store. All right, you're going to go ahead and click on that, open the link, and it's going to open up your Microsoft Store. You are going to have the install button or download button. I have the open button because it's already installed. Okay, so install it and then go ahead and open the software. And this is the software. Now what you're going to do is plug in the USB dongle. Once you plug it in, all of these grayed out options will no longer be grayed out. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in now. One important note, by default, the LED option will be ticked or turned on. And when you plug in the device, the red LED will start blinking or flashing. If it's not blinking or flashing, make sure you have it plugged in correctly. There is a wrong way to plug it in, believe it or not. The gold contacts of the FlooGoo should be touching the gold contacts of the USB port. You don't want the plastic side making contact with the USB contacts. All right, once it's plugged in, like I said, all of these options become available. Before we even get into the configuration, first, we need to update the firmware, just like we did for the hearing aids, but this time we're updating the firmware for the actual device itself, the dongle. Your firmware will probably say 1.1.1.0 or something like that. I have the latest firmware version, which is 1.1.1.7, okay? You are probably not going to have that. So to download the firmware update and to update the actual device itself, you're not going to hit device firmware upgrade. You're going to hit support link. It's going to take you back to their website. And once again, we're going to scroll down, and these are all the different update versions, okay? All the different firmware versions for the dongle. And the latest is 1.1.1.7, specifically for LE audio or Auracast. Okay, so we're going to click on that and we're going to download it to our PC. It's going to go right to our downloads folder if that's the folder where your downloads go. I always leave that to the default setting, so it goes to my downloads folder. So I'm going to click on it and it downloads. There it is. It's in a zip file. Okay, if you're not sure where your downloads go, you can just hit this icon and it will take you right to the download location. So we're going to do that now. And there is our download, FMA120, and it shows the version 1.1.1.7. Now we have to extract the files. We have to unzip it. So you can right click on it and extract all. Well, where's it going to go? It's going to go to our downloads folder and then into its own folder called FMA120 blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're going to extract it and it's going to automatically open it up. Don't let that confuse you. There it is. This is the zipped version, and this is we basically unzipped it, took out the files, and popped them in right in here. And if you open that up, you're going to see DFU folder. We're going to open that up, and this file right here is the actual firmware update. So we're going to get to that a little bit later. We're going to go ahead and close this and go back to our desktop. Now I'm going to open up the FlooCast software again. All right, now to actually update, we've downloaded the update, but now to actually apply that update, we're going to now click on Device Firmware Upgrade, and it's going to tell us, well, where is the update file? Well, it's in our Downloads folder. So if we click on Downloads, there's our folder. We're going to open up the DFU folder, and there is our update. You just double click on it or hit open, and basically you're telling it that's where it's at. Go ahead and use it. And then it's going to update the firmware. It's going to start at 1%, go all the way up to 100%, and it's going to say it right there. I wish I had a recording of it, but I've already updated my device. And oh, you know what? They sent me a couple of samples so that I can take them to the church. Let me go grab one real quick. All right, here we are. Check it out. New firmware is available. So this is one of the ones that they sent me. We're going to go ahead and click on Device Firmware Upgrade. Again, Downloads, open the folder, DFU, double click, bam, it's upgrading. By the way, let's give a huge shout out and thank you to FlareMesh. I told them that I wanted to use the device and see if I can get it working for a church so that they can provide, direct audio for all the folks that wear hearing aids. And they said, you know what, we got you. We're going to send you a couple free devices. So thank you, FlareMesh. All right, so this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Once it reaches 95, it just starts blinking and you think, oh crap, I broke it. I did something wrong. Don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong. It does this and it takes a couple minutes and then finally it'll just like poof, it's updated. And there it starts. And there you go, it starts flashing. And there we go, question mark. So I've noticed sometimes when you plug in the device, it doesn't recognize it. Just unplug it and plug it back in. That might be some kind of weird glitch, or maybe it's just my USB ports acting up. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and unplug it and plug it back in. All right, plugged it back in, 1.1.1.7. So if you guys made it this far, give yourselves a pat on the back. If you weren't tech savvy before, you're tech savvy now. You have downloaded a firmware update to your PC. You've unzipped a compressed file. Good job. And you've actually updated one of the devices on your computer. You guys are now ready to take on the tech world. So good job. All right, so now we are actually ready to rock, okay? These are the settings you want. High quality, 1-to-1. You want prefer using LE audio for dual mode devices, and you want public broadcast must be enabled. Okay, you want this, and this. And then you want to turn off aptX lossless. You do not want that on. Okay, now you are ready to go. And once you do all this, you don't have to mess with the stuff again. That's it. Now, all you need to do to get this working and to get your hearing aids paired to your PC so that you can stream is you've got to shut off the hearing aids, turn them back on, and place them next to the device. Now, the Philips hearing aids are the only hearing aids out of the bunch that have to be placed right next to it. This is not a problem with the FlooGoo device. This is just specific to Philips hearing aids. To pair them to your phone, to pair them to this, they have to be right next to it. So that's what we're going to do next. Make sure you shut off your Bluetooth on your phone. We don't want anything to interfere once we do this initial pairing. Okay, so I'm going to shut off the Bluetooth on my phone and whatever other phones are in the area. Just to be safe, I'm going to freshly power on my hearing aids. We're going to start with the Jabras first. And the reason I'm extending this video out and showing you all three hearing aids is so that we have proof that all three brands, once properly updated with the latest firmware, will connect with this device. You just hit add device. Once the hearing aids are turned on, you wait a few seconds, and there it is. That is the Jabra Enhance Pro 20. It says audio streaming, unicast streaming, and LC3. Just for you tech guys out there, unicast is what we're using to do the direct connection to the PC. Okay, broadcast and Auracast will show up if you're using this device to broadcast an audio signal for anybody to connect to. That's not what we're doing. This is a video purely on a direct connection to the PC so that you can stream all the audio from your PC. Now, to make sure that the audio is going to the hearing aids, we have to select the audio source. Okay, that means we need to tell the computer whether we want the audio to come through our PC speakers, our gaming headset, our wireless earbuds, or our hearing aids. And to do that, you're going to go down to this little speaker icon. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to click on this option right here, select a sound output, and you want to make sure that the FMA120 is selected. This is my gaming headset. If I want to hear my YouTube videos through my gaming headset, I would select this. But no, I want to hear the audio, and I want it to go through the FlooGoo FMA120. So it's already selected. And now if I play a YouTube video, okay, we're going to go to YouTube, and we're going to check out this cool car. And there you go. The audio is playing through the hearing aids. I'm going to grab the hearing aid, and I'm going to put it right up to the microphone. Hopefully you guys can hear that. And guess what? It is crystal clear. All right. And now I'm going to show you guys one more thing with the Jabras. We are going to use our Jabra Enhance Pro 20s as our headset for Zoom. What if you have a doctor's appointment, or for Microsoft Teams? Okay, all you do is you open up Zoom or Teams or whatever it is, and you're going to do the same thing we just did down here. We're going to select the FMA120 as our audio source, both for the microphone, so that's the input, and the speakers, the output. The output is the sound that's coming out of the device, and the input is the sound that's coming into the device, like your voice going into the microphone. All right, so here's Zoom, and we're going to go to settings. So click on your little thingy. That's me when I was lifting weights. Settings, audio, FMA120. I'm going to hit, it's already selected, so I'm going to hit the test speaker, and there, that's coming out of the hearing aid. And the microphone is also picking up the sound coming into the microphone on the hearing aid itself. Really, really cool stuff. So not only can you listen to your audio and whatever else, you can also actually use the hearing aid as your headset with both the microphone and the hearing aid for hearing the sound and also transmitting your voice. So really awesome. Now I'm not going to go through all of this again. So I'm just going to show you guys that it works for all three brands really quick by just doing the pairing process. Okay, so here's our FlooGoo. I'm going to clear out the Jabra Enhance Pro 20. I'm going to shut off the Jabra Enhance Pro 20 hearing aids. Now we're going to test it out with the Philips 9050s. So I'm going to power on the 9050s. Remember, we have the latest firmware update, and I'm going to set them right next to the FlooGoo device. I'm going to hit Add Device, and there it is. There's the Philips. Audio streaming, unicast streaming, LC3. LC3 is the new Bluetooth codec, by the way. We're going to go to our YouTube video. And I'm holding up the Philips to the microphone. Beautiful. So the Philips work. Now I'm going to shut off the Philips hearing aids. So I shut off the Rexton hearing aids, turn them back on, set them right next to the device. I always set them next to it. Go ahead and hit Add Device. And there we go, Rexton Reach. So folks, we have officially paired all three brands prescription hearing aids with Auracast to our PC and now have full streaming audio, anything. For some reason, it doesn't pop up. Shut the hearing aids off again, turn them back on, maybe unplug the FlooGoo device, plug it back in. But once it's there, it is directly connected to the hearing aids. Once it shows up here, you're good to go. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I know you guys are going to have questions. And just so that you know, somebody was asking me about the airplane. Well, is there any device that we can use to stream from the airplane? You know, the little TV on the back of the seats. And I have just ordered, let me just show you what I ordered really quick. Don't order it yet because I haven't tested it yet. But I just ordered this device right here. It's called the Beatsy Bluetooth 5.4 transmitter. And I was reading in the comments, somebody said they got it working with their Costco hearing aids. And guess what? If it works with the Costco hearing aids, it probably works with ours. And look, it's plugged into the TV. We might be able to stream your TV audio for $25.49. That would be pretty awesome. And you can connect two hearing aids to it or two devices. So I'm going to test it out and see if it doesn't work, I'll send it back. But anyway, super excited. I'm glad I could be here to help you guys figure all this new technology out. It's very exciting. Very happy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and you want to see more stuff like this, and tell people about the Hearing Club. Even if they don't wear hearing aids, tell them, hey, just subscribe, all right? You're doing this guy a solid, and he's helping us out. This is hard stuff to navigate by yourself. I'm doing all the hard work for you guys, and I'm happy to do it. Love you guys. Peace.